Wow, it's day 23 in the party of my commitment for a daily mental health walk and talk video for June, uploaded on my YouTube. I've got to say, I'm quite impressed myself, because as someone with ADHD, sometimes I'll get an idea and I'll go balls out on it, and then what will happen is the thrill of the new thing will go away, and then I won't commit, and that's bad. I've done that with things like my podcast and that in the past, and I've died away. So as James Clear says in Atomic Habits, decide what you want to do, or decide who you want to become, prove it to yourself with small daily wins. So as I said when I started this, these videos are for me, and hopefully if somebody gets something out of it, fantastic. But I'm committed to doing it. Sometimes I'll just put the camera, I don't even know what I'm going to say, but I'm just out having a little evening stroll with the dogs. And I thought I'd give you a little update on my dad. Obviously, I haven't put much on my socials recently, so he's a month off radiation now, but he's pretty battered, to be honest. I don't want to put any pics up or anything. He's pretty just kippers on the sofa a lot of the time. He just said he's just got nothing, no energy. He still tries to go out and he'll have a little morning stroll with the dogs and the boys' mum, but not a lot. He just says it's really, really frustrating. Although he did make a nice bit of lamb today, which I've had some this evening. So we are by no means out of the woods. It is an extremely long road to recovery, and it might go on like this for quite some time. So we keep walking. Hey mate, you okay? We keep walking, and we keep moving. And it's been a really challenging year, really insightful year. You really learn a lot about yourself, and a lot of people around me going through stuff as well. Yeah, it's everything that I've always told my clients to do. You know, don't wait for the perfect time. You know, just you got to keep going. There's always stuff's going to happen. That's been a big one for me and Bex this year, especially with her eye, and my dad with his ill health, and it has taken its toll. However, gratitude. Always be grateful. It's so hard, to be grateful when you're in the shit. But one thing I've learned is be grateful when you're in the shit, because it's very easy to be grateful and give thanks when everything's going well. But can you still be grateful to the universe when everything's going against you? Because that ultimately, when you're being challenged, when you're being tested, it's developing your character, right? It really is developing your character. It's so easy, isn't it? Holly, Ivy, it's so easy to when the shit hits the fan, just to eat shit food, drink alcohol, soothe, and people give you a pass for it. It's like, oh yeah, but yes, this has happened. You get a pass in society. Oh well, his dad was unwell, or his mum was ill, and that's why he's gained 2 stone. But actually, it's quite. You really learn a lot about yourself when you're in the pit. And you said this to Bex a lot this year. We've had a lot of ups since we've met, and we've been in a storm this year, and we're just riding it out together. Some days we have big lows. Bex gets really frustrated that she can't train like she used to, or when she does really push it, she feels like she's had a massive setback the next day, and it's really knocking her for 6. And that's a massive part of her identity. When I met her, she's doing handstand walks, not the second I met her, but and muscle ups and things like that. And it's a big part of her identity, which is gone, and she's having to rebuild. And obviously, I'm just used to having my dad. My dad's been down with me for almost a decade. Just used to having him well, used to having him available to help out with the boys, even though the boys are pretty self-sufficient now. Just used to him, dealing with the dogs and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a challenge. Do you know, it's funny, right? Because I didn't really have a subject for tonight. It's just musings. But your brain is a problem-solving machine, isn't it? It's always trying to solve problems, trying to even just create problems to solve them. I was genuinely worried, if my dad ever became unwell or wasn't around anymore, how I'd manage the dogs. I was genuinely worried about that. And you know what? It's been bloody amazing. But a lot of people said to me, you've never really walked your dogs before then, even though you've had them that long. No, because it's always been my dad and the boys' mums kind of thing, because she's got a dog walking business. So, and I remember like when Sarah said to me years ago, like, look, I want to get a dog, you know, when we were together for your dad, and I think it really helped him. And I was like, look, you know, I love animals. I'll love it. Obviously, we've got a few now. I'm sure I'll end up paying for the insurance and food and all that jazz. I said, but I can't be the sole responsibility because I'm in and out with my work. And obviously, you know, when we separated, we took Holly and Ivy, and Sarah's got her own dog now. And I was thinking, like, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How are we going to manage? And you just do. And I've been getting up early and going for walks in nature with the dogs, and I've just had so much clarity from it. And then going running with one of the dogs, and all the extra steps has got me like leaner. There's all these positive things. But you're going, well, how's that going to happen? How's that going to happen? We're always trying to control the outcome. And, you know, when you look back, it's only upon reflection you can see that everything always works out. Because if it hadn't, you wouldn't be watching this video. You know what I mean? Everything always works out. I remember going through my separation and just being there going, like, how? Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, how's this going to work? And it does. It works out. And you realise sometimes there's a greater thing at play. There's all these stuff that you can't control. But this bloody brain of ours is always trying to control the outcome. It's always trying to figure out. And apparently it's just to keep us safe. You know, we want to use that logical side. Like these last 10 weeks, 12 weeks maybe now that my dad's been really unwell. Like the time I've had with my dogs. And actually, I've always had this vision of the future where I am totally online. Me and Becky are running retreats. And I'm not in the gym every day, even though I love my clients. I love being in the gym, and it's almost like I've been stepping into it in the last 3 months, like having those slower mornings. I say slower, like just out with the dogs, and actually, when I take a couple of dogs, I'll take my phone and I'll do all my online check-ins and all my content over a period of hours. And then on the other times where I run with a dog, it's like it's a phoneless run, and you're just out in nature, and it's like, wow, this is so good. I've been missing out on this. And I think sometimes we overthink it, don't we? We overthink everything. What about this? What about this? What about this? Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. You really just got to go with the flow. And it's worked out. It's worked out with the dogs. We even got Becky's dog, who's Cassie, who's a little bit old. She's got a bit of arthritis and who struggled. And Becky feels quite guilty about that because obviously she's on her own with the kids, and she's not always there to walk Cassie. And when she's working long hours in the gym, and you know, Cassie's gotten a little bit lazy, but now we take Cassie out and with Holly and Ivy and Margot, and she's absolutely loving it. She came to mine today and she chilled, and you're like, oh wow, like even with all these challenges, we're finding lots of joy and new experiences. And I was like, oh look, now Cassie's been to mine. You know, if you're ever out for the day or whatever, you know, and she'll just chill. My dad said she was no problem, yeah, it was really good. So guys, listen, you're not always going to be able to control the outcome of anything. And life always brings challenges, doesn't it? I read a great quote the other day, and I think I just said, like, whenever you reflect, you can connect the dots. You can connect the dots and go, oh, it worked out. It worked out. But you can't connect the dots moving forward, can you? Because you don't know what's going to happen. So sometimes I think you just got to surrender to it. Be the best version of yourself. And you can only do so much, right, every day. So I love law of attraction. I love manifestation. Come on, girls, you want to go home, don't you? Do you want to go home? Come on this way. But it talks about taking aligned action, but actually not forcing. You can only do so much in a day, you know? So, and sometimes alignment is being as well. It's not just about the doing. It's just, who are you being? So you want to lose 4 stone, okay, yeah, there's got to be some doing, of course, but who are you being? You know, who are you being? What kind of person are you being on a day-to-day basis? Are you prepped? Do you take Tupperware to work? Do you think ahead? I would imagine you would, right? I would imagine you would. Come on, girls. So you got to do the doing, you got to do the being. You got to act like that character that you want to become. What habits do they have? How much water are they drinking? Are they prepped? Are they chaotic? Are they disorganized, or are they organized? They're on top. They know where they are. They know what their gym routine is. They know what their day looks like. They don't get caught out. all you can do is just take one day at a time, aligned, inspired action, and then just get out of the way and let the universe do the rest, is what I believe anyway. So there we go, guys. I'm going to go in. It was short and sweet tonight, just 10 minutes. It is piping hot. It's 29 degrees here in South Wales this evening. England are playing in an hour, so I'm going to go and I'm going to do a cold shower and a hot bath, a little bit of contrast therapy at home, and put my feet up, and I'll see if I can stay awake beyond half time. Not that England has bored me, it's just that 9:45, mate. Normally Kippers O'Houlihan by then. Right, talk to you soon.